Hey everyone, hope you all are doing great. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all who all are joining us globally. My name is Parth Varu. I'm the Events and Program Manager for Microsoft Reactor India, and welcome you all to very first episode of our today's series. But before we start, let's go through our code of conduct. We are all here to participate together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding their differences, be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage you all to participate. Please do drop all our questions in the chat section and we'll pick it up from there. Now, I would like to bring in Kamal and Shrushti.
Hi,
Hi
Parth.
Kamal, hi Shrushti.
All
I
right.
think Shrushti, you're on mute.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. Yes, thank you, Pat, for that introduction. Hi, good morning.
The floor is all yours. Yep.
Yeah. So thank you, Parth, so much. So good morning, everyone, again, and excited to be kickstarting the Tech Talk series back, which we kind of paused last year. And last year we had kind of done a couple of Teams app related sessions related to the app camp. So you would find the link, and I would be posting the link in the chat so you can find them and see how we've been talking about the Teams app camp with a demo use case with the Northwind. So today our topic are to kickstart, we would be talking more on the Copilot side. So we've seen that the Copilot is kind of transforming our work life in a lot of aspects, whether it could be enhanced productivity. Say, for example, if it could help assist user by providing an intelligent suggestions. That is what we use most of the time to enhance our productivity or even automate within various Microsoft applications, or for the matter whether we want to do any streamlined collaborations. It could be like real-time suggestions for collaborative editing or sharing the documents or even helping resolving the conflict in track changes. Copilot is helping us. Or whether it could be in terms of data analysis or insights, where it could provide you assistance in analyzing the data, formula suggestions, visualizing recommendations. These are something that we require a tool or an assistant to help us, and Copilot is really kind of covering us in all these areas. And also, it helps us to cover the insights of the data more efficiently and effectively, which is more the vital aspects of the Copilot, or the presentation assistance, because I'm talking about all these factors that they are covered in this M365 or Microsoft 365 bubble, where it kind of assists you in speech writing, slide transition. So all I have to give is a particular text or a, a kind of an instruction telling, okay, I'm looking for this particular data, a slide transition, or even offer presentation tip based on best practices. And in minutes, I'm able to get the results that I'm looking for. Or irrespective of whether you want to automate a task, where a repetitive task can be done by the Copilot across the various Microsoft 365 application, such as scheduling a meeting in the Outlook, or even organizing your emails, or for creating templates. So, or even generating a report. Trust me, most of the time, generating a report has become so easy after the introduction of Copilot. Or even as from the developer point of view, say you want to learn or a skill a development, whether it's a GitHub Copilot or Microsoft Copilot or any other educational tool, it's kind of helping and learning new features. The model is getting trained and giving the results based on what we are kind of inputting, or even the accessibility features. So these are the key areas that we actually focus, and Copilot M365 Copilot is kind of helping us. And even integration with Microsoft Teams, that is very important, which we would be covering. Integration with Teams could allow Copilot to assist during the virtual meeting and providing real time transcriptions, summarizations, action item tracking. So it looks like the overall M365 Copilot could fundamentally change the way we interact and leverage Microsoft suites, productivity tools, making them more intelligent, intuitive, and supportive of user flow needs. That is what we need at the end of the day, right? So just by giving an overview of Microsoft 365 Copilot, but Shrishti will be talking about how to transform the way we work with M365 Copilot with more detailed description. So I welcome Shrishti, who's a Microsoft MVP and has more than 6+ years of experience working in Microsoft technology as a SharePoint framework developer and M365 consultant. She's been a part of the community, whether it could be PNP community or CSharpCorners or open source contributor. She's been an amazing contributor to the M365 family. So welcome you, Shrishti, and the stage is all yours. Looking forward to your talk.
Hey, thank you so much, Kamal. And without a further ado, I would, just want to give some insights on probably Kamal already touch based upon almost, every parts and aspects where Copilot can play a role in M365 bubble. So I'll take that topic ahead and I'm going to show you how we can use this Copilot and where all you can find this. Either it is in your Word or Power Automate, or Power Platform, my bad, PowerPoint, because I was just working on Power Platform, so that is stuck in my mind. But nevertheless, how we can use Copilot in productivity suite as part of Word, Excel, or creating your PowerPoint presentations. And not just that, but also in your Loop or OneNotes and in Teams meeting. And you can find M365 Copilot as a chat even into your Microsoft Teams. So we're going to look at this, and maybe if you have Copilot in your organization, you can start utilizing it as well. So coming to
Sta-
the topic
yeah,
straight
stage
away.
is all yours, Shrishti. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Kamal Shi. And I am going to deep dive into how you can transform the way you work with Microsoft 365 Copilot. And a short, agenda which I have for you all is I'll give a quick introduction about what exactly this Microsoft 365 Copilot is and what are the technical requirements. So let's say if you are working in an ISV or a startup or a mid-sized company or it is a large-scale company, irrespective of the size of the organization, if you want to adopt Copilot, what are the technical requirements for it, and what features and capabilities Copilot offers, the pricing, and the hero of today's session or talk is definitely the text or the instruction which you are going to write or put in Copilot, that is prompts. So how you can write, what is the art and how you can write that clear and concise prompt. And definitely, once you give the instructions, you are ready to go. You will wait to get something back from the Copilot, and the slides which I prepared today is definitely from Microsoft documentation and information, so that references I have managed to put in at one place. Yes, going ahead, Kamal, she already gave an introduction about me. So I am a technical consultant working in Microsoft 365 space, also in Power Platform, and I carry 6.5 plus years of experience. And I keep on giving some enlightening talks around Microsoft 365 or Power Platform or in the space of Azure and AI across various events, groups, or conferences. You can find any of the talks on YouTube if it is inspiring. You can just definitely go ahead and take a look at it and use it in your use case. Apart from that, I also write a couple of blogs. I don't write it very frequently, but I do post a good content on blog, which I feel that can be a unique content and it has to be shared. That is a small sweet introduction about myself. And carrying this agenda for today's topic, let's go ahead and look at Microsoft 365 Copilot. And I'm sure you all are very excited to know about how you can straight away go to your tenant and use it. Now, there is a question which I frequently come across: Microsoft Copilot and Microsoft 365 Copilot. How these two are different. So, firstly, when you talk about Microsoft Copilot, you imagine that you go to a search engine called as Binge, and there you find that Copilot icon, and you can just either ask questions or ask Copilot to generate images or generate some content or summarize, etc. Like whatever you can do with Copilot, you can do straight away in Microsoft Copilot. But what we are going to talk about is Microsoft 365 Copilot. So these two are different. At the end, the behind the scenes engine, which is large language model, is same. So we are not doing anything different. It's just that you are using that Microsoft Copilot in search engine where you can search. While when I talk about M365 Copilot, you can also have few add-on features. Like let's say I have few meetings uh, which I just came out from, and I had some follow-up tasks. Now maybe you can use this Copilot to just check on, do I have any follow-up tasks? Maybe if you have missed some meeting, you can just straight away check those all things. That is where this differentiation comes into the picture. M365 Copilot also clubs the integrated services, just like I mentioned, Teams, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, etc. And Microsoft Copilot, it's kind of your search plus generating text plus generating images, and it will definitely, you can also query organization data, but only if you have access to. So this differentiation, it has to be like straight away understood. Maybe you now have the idea about what is the two different kind of copilots you're dealing with today. So coming to the introduction, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365, it combines the power of large language models with your organization's data, because you are going to query or generate anything within your organization. So straight away it is going to sit on your organization's data, and you can make the most of it. Like let's say I want to generate a document, or I want to create reports on Excel. I want to get the data from Excel. You can do all of those staying right inside your Teams or M365 portal, and use Copilot to bring that, all that information which is needed. And this definitely boosts your productivity. How? Because if I want to just generate a document, it used to take a lot of time. I'll have to do research. I'll have to go to that point of contact documentations, and then I will create one such document. Um, and that used to take a lot of time. Now with Copilot, you just have to give a prompt. You just give a more context that for what you are generating a document for, and you're good to go. It will generate some sample reference for you, and maybe now you have that command. You can take that forward, tweak that changes or update some data in it, add some more relevant information, and your document is ready to go. So that is where your creativity also comes into the picture. And productivity, as I mentioned, it is just writing a prompt and you have the information at one in few minutes or few seconds. But your creativity plays a role when you start writing concise prompts, and that is how a new era, which is generating prompts, is an altogether new skill which you'll have to develop. Coming together now, just I have this short video probably which help you. So as you can see in this video, it is asking that it is writing a prompt in the Copilot and is generating the output. So if you can see, the output is generated in a bulleted format. And now with the help of Copilot, you can just draft a document. So this is how it is. So this is a very short video explaining where all you can find Copilots in different Microsoft services. So this is Word document, in PowerPoints, in Excel, Outlook, and into your Teams. So this is what we're going to cover today. If you don't understand from the video how this is happening, no problem at all. We'll quickly cover these slides. Copilot for Microsoft 365. Now coming to the important aspect, if I want to use Copilot in my tenant, or if you need Copilot as an organization, what all steps you have to follow. So firstly, to use Copilot, you have to manage some technical requirements as mentioned on the screen, which are Copilot users will need M365 E3 or E5 license and an Azure Active Directory account, which gives them access to the Microsoft 365 apps and services that work seamlessly with Copilot, including your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive, Outlook, Loop, and more. So if your organization already has M365 E3 or E5 license, then you just have to add on this new feature for Copilot, and they'll have to pay for that. Coming to the other slide, license management. So your admin who are the Microsoft 365 admin, they will be able to manage the licenses for Copilot as well, right into your Microsoft 365 admin center. They can find this under billing and licensing. They can give this license either to the individual users or to the multiple users. Also, they can assign licenses as part of group, just like your AD groups. Yes. Now, in that video, you would have seen that Copilot prompt box. You were able to see in all the productivity services like Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So this is what it is. Microsoft Copilot is not a pilot. It is a Copilot, and you are the pilot who's going to driving, who is going to give that command, and you are the driver, and he or she, or probably this is an assistant AI tool, will be a kind of an helping hand for you. That is why it is named as AI companion. So now Copilot will help you to achieve things like never before, as it is mentioned. Using the power of AI, you can just explore, bring up your creative side, and start, pick up your uh, racing shoe, and you can just start drafting. So where all this Copilot comes into the picture, it is available as part of OneNote, PowerPoint, Teams, Loop, Excel, Word, Windows. Copilot, definitely, as I mentioned, a separate as part of Engine, Bench service, Whiteboard, and Outlook. So here in all these spaces, you can find Copilot. How Copilot will help you to enhance productivity. Let's look at it. Once I briefly cover all these slides, you have got the idea of what all Copilot offers, the features, the pricing, etc. Then we'll straight away jump to the Copilot sandbox environment where we'll see Copilot in action. So don't worry about it. We are going to do that a demo as well. Coming to the productivity side, how it will help you, how as an end user or an employee, Copilot will be helpful to you. So combining the power, this large language model has a lot of data sitting with it. You can now generate your own content, and you can also query content. So if you want to query some content, so you can see this Copilot, it is asking what's the latest on the store opening in Phoenix. So you need the latest information for one of these store. Now for that you have to give some more context. If I just put in giving the latest information for the store, definitely to not understand. You have to give the context of which store you want, where that store is located. So that is that context you have to put in. You'll also find a brief, this Copilot gave in some information with the references, so that that reference will be kind of a straight away reference to that information from where this is pulled out from. Coming to the next part, meetings. So now, as part of working in hybrid location, either you're working from home or from office or hybrid, definitely we have been engaging throughout and collaborating using Microsoft Teams. So Teams is kind of a new space for every employee and every user to make it more productive. This space has to used to generate value, and not just you are listening and you're not generating any value from it. Now how you can get the most of these meetings, so maybe you can engage more by, you see this Copilot here panel, where you are just generating a table with the timelines. So straight away into the meeting, previously what we used to do is once the meeting is concluded, we used to write or draft an email with all these timelines or information. Either this is drafted in your Excel and then you share it with an email. That communication flow is, somewhere that flow has been not end to end flow, but either it happens through email and then you go back to the teams and respond in the chat in the meeting. Those all bits and pieces of information. Here inside the meeting, you can just create that agenda, or you can create that timeline right inside the meeting. It will generate for you, and then you can also assign the tasks right away. This is how you can make the most of the meetings. This is just one simple example of generating a timeline, but you can also write or draft follow-up emails, like what you want to be done after this. Your Copilot will do that for you, and this follow-up email, all you have to do is just pick this up and it will be sent out to the meeting chat group. So this is how you can be more productive inside the meetings. Again, one such part is, we ideally, probably if you are attending too much of meeting, if you are working in sales, pre-sales, or any such business oriented discussions, so you might lose out meeting some of the attending some of the meetings. So all you can do is just you can go to that meeting chat and you can just some ask Copilot to summarize what was the important tasks or important discussions which happened in that meeting, and all you will get is a small paragraph which you can just read it, and you can find out, hey, whether there was any useful or any action item assigned to me. If not, then it's fine. You just got a glance of what was discussed. So this is how you can take a summary as well. Next, as I mentioned, Copilot is not just about querying the data, generating the content, but it also opens the door of creativity. So, how you as a human can be more creative and use your creative skill across these services as part of Copilot. So, if you can see, you can strengthen your writing. So, let's say only and only if I possess the skill, like, hey, if I am able to give a good instruction to Copilot, like more context or more example, like only then you'll be able to reach that information which you are trying to look for. So as you can see from the screen, you can transform your writing using this drafts. You can edit, summarize, and create some content which will be helpful for you. Summarize this document is just giving a summary. Here is a summary of this document. But if you want more detailed, like in the summary as well, if you want to see that, hey, if anywhere my name was called out or there were some important discussions which happened, you give more context and you will land straight away with the information which you are looking for. Coming next, as I think Kamal, she already mentioned that PowerPoint presentations, like we end up creating a lot of slides to either for this demonstration or for any of the pitches. Maybe you can go to the PowerPoint, you can create a presentation using Copilot. You have to give just normal prompt and you can just give that, hey, I want to generate PowerPoint slides for a pitch which is on Copilot, and it will give some sample slides to you. Now it is up to you how you want to take that slides up. You can edit, definitely you can edit, adjust, and do a lot of other things with it. But a small plate, like a ground rule or some groundwork has been done for you using Copilot. Now you give prompts and emphasize more. That will be done. Next, definitely the utmost important, we all work with Excel. And in the Excel, what you can do is, maybe there is lot of data in the table format or in the charts. You can analyze that data from Copilot. You just give prompts and write the prompt of, either you take a table, select the table and create visualization on top of it. Or you can just generate some information that, hey, is there any high spiking value or going beyond threshold from this table? All that information you can find straight away in Excel. Coming to the another important area we saw, right, where all co-pilots can come into the picture in terms of productivity, creativity. Another important thing is responsible AI. So whenever you use Copilot, you should understand all that Copilot prompts which you're writing, the information which it is generating. Keep in mind that this is all secured and your data is protected, because it sits and it is using your Microsoft 365 security compliance and privacy policies. So Copilot is secured. You can go ahead and make any information. You can generate any information and you can also query information from it. It is using the responsible AI framework of all the responsible AI six frameworks which we ideally use it. It is using that. In meetings, how you can stay productive, that we already saw, but you can see in the Copilot panel that how I'm using Copilot as part of Teams and how it is generating the information, like what are the open items for this meeting, is any task assigned to me. Next word, we'll see that in action. I don't want to waste time in these slides. I Another important thing is Outlook. In the Outlook as well, I'll just play this GIF. You see, this is the meeting which was created in my Teams, and there was one conflict. What it did is, you just went ahead, asked the Copilot, what are my action items? And it shows that, yeah, you were assigned some tasks and it is giving that information. Whatever discussion happened as part of Teams, you can see from the screen. These are the AI notes which was generated. And using that notes is the data which Copilot is querying, and it is able to generate the answer that, hey, yes, some items were assigned to you, and this is the information. So this is how you can maintain follow-ups after the meeting as well. Going to the next slide. to the presentation. So I think this you all know now. You can create a presentation using Copilot. We'll see that in action. In Excel, I wanted to look at this shift, how you can analyze the data. So if you can see from the screen, I'm writing a Copilot of forecast sales for the next 4 quarters, and this is the data, and it is doing some work behind the scenes, the formulas it is writing, and now once it has generated this table, it is up to you if you want to keep this or if you want to modify, you can do that as well. So this is the ease of use of Copilot. I'll go to the demo tenant before I come back to the pending slides. Okay. So now I hope you can see my tenant, and I'm going to go to the Word file. And in the Word, this is Word Online, where you will see this Copilot. I'm going to click on it. This Copilot panel will help me, if I have Word document which is drafted, I can query or I can make some changes using this Copilot panel. But I'm going to make use of this draft with Copilot. And here, if you see this tool, this is the prompt box. Describe what you would like to write, including notes or an outline, and Copilot can generate a draft. Also, let's say you have a document, maybe that is a business document or some document reference which you already have, and you want Copilot to take that document as a reference and generate the draft for me. You can do that straight away, reference your content. You just have to pull up your that document where that information is. If you just want to start creating a normal draft, then what you can do is just I am going to draft. Okay, I'm going to draft a sample document for my fourth coffee store, which is opening soon next week. Let's just go ahead and hit generate. We'll wait for it to generate and let's see. Hmm. We'll close this for more visibility. Okay. Now, once it has generated, if you see, I did not give any more context like generate in less than 100 words or generate something for 3 pages and include some more details like store information, what all coffees it will offer, different flavors. I did not give anything. That is why it was only able to generate a small piece of information. And after generating, it is showing me some more things in the tool. Like either I can keep it or there's a regenerate option. I can delete it straight away as well and I can elaborate more. So let's just say add different flavors of coffee, which fourth coffee will offer. Let's hit enter. And if you see, it is refining your draft, that information which was given previously, which you were seeing. Now it will redefine, regenerate with additional information of coffee as well. So now if you see there is few flavors of coffee is mentioned, like choose from the wide selection of flavors like vanilla, caramel, hazelnut, mocha. And this is the simple draft. Now let's say I want to keep it. Once you are done keeping it, now it is up to you. So as you can see, the information is incorrect. The location of the store is incorrect. When it is opening, the date is incorrect because we did not give any of those information in the context in the prompt. Hence, it wasn't able to gauge that. It just gave the sample here. Now it is up to you. You can tweak the more information and you can create more such good drafts. Just a Kickstarter draft. Now let's say this is the final version which I want to keep it, and I go to the Copilot panel and I'm going to ask few questions. Summarize this document. This is the just sample which they have given, sample prompts. But I'm going to ask some different questions after this has done summarizing. Okay, so it did generate, and it is saying the document which was generated here was focused on three main things: store opening, quality of coffee, and community hub and events. So it's fine. Now let's just go ahead and what are the different flavors of coffee Fourth Coffee is offering? Let's wait for it to respond and let's see. Awesome. It did highlight it as well, isn't it? If I click on the reference, see, it will highlight that information from where it was able to get this for me. Also, we can just ask to celebrate a grand opening. Okay. Is there any discount? We'll just put in this much and let's see. It should refer to the exact piece of information once it has generated. Yes, it has, and it highlighted how much percentage of discount as well. If I click on the reference, it will highlight this paragraph from where it was generated. So, as you can see, there are two main things which you can do from the Word Copilot. One is you can generate some piece of information, and not just generating a sample draft, but you can also generate it from your files. So, let's say I have a file, maybe a reference document. Using that, you want to generate or draft a document. You can do that easily. All you have to do is just pick that Copilot draft, and once you are done, add the reference file, and you're good to go. You can keep it. You can give adding more refinements to the document, just like we added flavors. You give more prompts, add refinements, and then your document will be straight away the document which you want to generate. Use this for your business purposes, either for generating business proposal or for sales, anything you can do it. Going back to the another area where you can use Copilot is PowerPoint. So let's just go. I'll pick up PowerPoint, and always you will see the Copilot. Let me go back to the Word document for 1 second. I think I missed that. Yeah, here you will find the Copilot panel in every productivity suite. Either it is your Excel or PowerPoint or Word, the same Copilot, and there will be one for drafting because in Word you draft documents, hence you have that draft functionality. Let's just go to the PowerPoint and see Copilot in action. Okay, it should sit somewhere. So see in PowerPoint you have the Copilot. Here I want to generate a sales presentation for a new coffee store, for my new coffee store, Fourth Coffee, which will, I'm giving more context to the in the draft, in the prompt itself, which will include coffee flavors like mocha and hazelnut. Hit enter and it should generate a sample presentation. We haven't yet created any one of these slides ourselves. Let's wait and see. Wow. If you can see from the screen, what it did is a sales presentation for Fourth Coffee has been generated and it includes these flavors. If you would like, designer also offers the other layout. Now, the layouts which it generated was normal, but if I want to make my presentation more, beautiful, or add more creativity, then maybe I can just pick any of these slides in design. I can go to the designer and I can just pick up any other slides as well according to the layout. Now let's go ahead and see whether what it did. Okay, let me go back to the slideshow and let's see from the beginning. Okay, it has generated sales presentation with introduction, selling points, range, audience. And if you see, this is the slide for introduction. This is the unique selling point of the coffee, freshly roasted coffee beans, product range, fourth coffee is audience target, and next is marketing strategies. Now, if you see, there is bit of lag of some of the information. Like I don't see it is elaborating more on the coffee flavors and how it is generating. It is just put it into one slide. Maybe I can ask Copilot to do something and make some more changes, add few slides, highlighting on the coffee, coffee beans, which are freshly generated for the end users to use. Okay. So let's see what it generates, and we'll wait for a second till it does this work. Maybe we'll also add some sales and marketing strategy slides. We'll ask Copilot to do that, to add some sample sales for the last year. Let's see. Okay, it did generate, and it is saying coffee harvesting process. It has added some details. Types of coffee beans, it just added few more information. Unique selling points was already part of it. And let's just go ahead, add sample sales of fourth coffee, sample sales revenue, fourth coffee for the last quarter. And we'll wait. You can not just only use this Copilot panel to generate, but you can also make some information. I can answer general purpose questions or those about presentations for additional things. Select view prompts. So you can also, it is not able to generate as of now, but let's just retry and retry phrasing the prompts. Let's see if it is able to generate. We can also tweak in each slide and update images if we needed. We can ask Copilot to add more relevant coffee beans images. You can just plug play. You can do a lot of things with this panel, Copilot panel. Okay, it did generate sample revenue for the last quarter has been added to the presentation. So this is the, but it didn't work, right? I wanted a table. I probably had to give more context, add a table for each month and add the sales revenue. Maybe you have to give more concise prompt and then it will be able to generate that revenue. But this is how you can use your Copilot into your PowerPoint designing. In terms of designing is concerned, if I go to view prompts, you see there are different kind of prompts. If I hit view more prompts, what all you can do is you can create, add agenda, add a slide, images, generate more ideas, etc. A lot of things. Now, if you see this view more prompts is redirecting you to the Copilot lab. I'm going to come to the Copilot lab once I'm done elaborating Copilot in Microsoft Teams, because this is the utmost useful information for everyone who is going to use Copilot, and they can use the ready to use prompts, and they can just uh, tweak and change their prompt instruction more as per their needs. But we'll go and see Copilot Lab after I'm done with this. Going back to the utmost important part is Microsoft 365 Copilot inside Teams. So let's just go ahead in Teams. And this is my Teams. You can see that in the chat section, I have Copilot area as well. So now what you can see from here is this is just a normal Copilot, just like what you see in your binge, right? Similar to binge where you can just ask question, draft some letters or draft some post, etc. You can also generate some ideas. Now if I click on new chat, so you see there is an option for generating new chat and Copilot chats. So what this does is, let's say I tried to find some information or generate some context based on something like I wanted to generate something for my social media engagement, and I just went off and I started working on something else. Now all your chats will be stored, just like any conversation which you can go back and refer to at any point of time. Similarly, Copilot chat, as you can see, create a LinkedIn post. So now let me just hit on this, and that same piece of information which you generated last time. So this is one sample which I tried, create a LinkedIn post announcing the release of Copilot for Android users, and this was generated. And this piece of information, what Copilot generated, was useful for me, and you can go and straight away refer back to your previous chats as well. Now going, let's say now you want to keep on referring to the same context. How can I use Copilot in Android system? Just ask a question. If your context of getting the information or fetching the information or generating is same as of the previous chat, then you can go back and pick that conversation from where it was left. Now it's giving some information about Copilot in Android system, and I hope it should also give some references. So it is mentioning that, hey, you can use Copilot in Android, and how you can use that, you have to go to the Google Play Store, download the app, and it is giving me this reference document. If I hit on it, and what is the second reference? Just click on this, and you'll find that reference document from where it is pulled out. So this is the new Copilot, and these are the test documents you can see from here. From those documents it is able to fetch. Now, here, if you would have observed, there was no documentation references from the internet or which is provided the normal sites. It got the information from from my organization data only. Now you can go and use this information and copy it, mm, just use it for a reference. You can also ask more questions like, tell me more about Dali. Let's see if it is able to find that information from your organization's data. Combining three documents is going three documents from the tenant. If there is anything related to Dali, yes, it is, and it will just, okay, it has reference to one document, what document in the tenant. Hence, it is able to get the information. Now, apart from getting the information, what else you can do? Let me just go back and say slash. So if I add slash, you can just start using some important information like people, files, meetings, or emails. So I'll just pick. I'm just adding a prompt. Was I mentioned in any of the meeting tasks? So if, let's say, I did not, maybe you can add for today's meeting or give more context so that you only get the information for today or tomorrow or for past week. But yes, I was mentioned for one of the meeting, and okay. So what I did is I just created a meeting today, and that meeting I added agenda and added some tasks for me. And that is why when I say that, hey, was I mentioned in any of the meetings, it is able to give that reference. I have to give a demo in one of the meetings. So this is what it is showing, and the meeting link is also intact. So if I go to my calendar, if you see this meeting, I go to the agenda. So this is the agenda, and these are the follow-up tasks. So if you see, these are the tasks which are assigned to me. Hence, it was able to get that information straight away. I did not have to go to the planner and see the task assigned to me, go to the Outlook. No, you can just find out the information right away. Next, let's say I want to grab some information from the files. Welcome to the fourth coffee. And what we will do is give me the list of flavors. And now we are not, this is just a sample document. Maybe you are working for some project and you just have that project file sitting somewhere, and now you are using Teams. You can query that document, you can add some information, or probably if you have that rights, then only you can add. But this information you can directly query into your Teams from the documents as well. What more you can do is you can also go to your emails. So now you can see that, try a different search. Let me go back to the email, and I don't see any suggestions as of now, but are there any meetings for today where I am part of? Let's see. There's one meeting, Copilot demo, and it ended 15 minutes ago. It is saying, however, I do not have any further information because no follow up or email were drafted. So that is why it is just able to give the small piece of information. Now, apart from this, what more you can do is you can also integrate plugins. So when I talk about plugins, so let's say you create a Copilot into your Copilot Studio, and that has all the data connectors. Maybe what I can do is, hey, just add my leaves to so and so leave portal, and that this will trigger to that Copilot which you created in the Copilot Studio. And then this is how you can take the information from the user, write it back to the data source, and also we can generate a message in return that, hey, your leaves is now uh, added to the calendar and it is approved. That whole process you can do in the Copilot Studio, and once your Copilot is created, you can integrate that as part of plugin. Not just that, but you can also create message extensions. Just like probably if you are a Teams developer, maybe you know that you can create messaging extensions as part of Teams, integrate that messaging extension and add it as a plugin, and then straight away all your CRUD operations which you do with the APIs, because at the end you are integrating with systems to read, write, update, delete. All you can do that from the chat window itself. Your user can straight away just ask to update or read, or they can also post the details to the data source. So you can do that by integrating with use of plugins. So once, if I go to the more plugins, let's just hit, it's taking some time. Yeah. And if you see that plugins is taking me to the store, app store, and here you find all your plugins. Either it is a message extension or your Copilot, which is created using Copilot Studio. All you will find it here in the App Store. Just add it and integrate with Copilot. You're good to go. So whatever I am showing today is just your organization data, how you can query, how you can generate, or make yourself more productive when you're working in Teams or in Microsoft 365 portal for generating presentations or Word document or Excel. But more, you can do more as well. Just like I mentioned, you can integrate with services. And this is also one good area where you can start developing plugins and integrate, and your users and user will start interacting with it. Next is meetings. So whenever you go to meetings, unfortunately, I don't have that any meeting I don't have as part of this tenant. But if you go to the meeting, and once your meeting is concluded, as you saw on the screen, this, I'll go to that current slide. Just a second. That meeting. So as you have seen that picture of Teams where you were able to follow up, you will see all that things into your Teams meeting as well. You can transcribe based on the meeting recording. You will be able to find the important tasks assigned to you. If your name was called out, whether there was any fruitful discussion or summary of that meeting, you can do all those in the Teams meeting as well. Now, I'm coming to these slides back. So we saw that how you can utilize Copilot in different areas, right? You can also do that same in Excel. Before I miss that out, let's just go ahead and check Excel as well. If I go to the blank workbook, you just create one sample, table here, and you'll be able to see Copilot You can just start analyzing data, just like what we saw in the slides. Give some sample table here and start analyzing, start creating reports or charts. On top of it, you can do all those using this Copilot panel. So this is where you will find Copilot in Excel. Going back to the utmost important part, which is Copilot Labs, because I think that is what my slide is going to cover further. As I already mentioned, Copilot is your AI assistant tool, which will help you be more in enhancing your productivity. Pricing, this is important for organizations to deal with. Whenever we talk about Copilot for M365, it is $30 per user per month. So as you can see, what all it offers, it will be and definitely it is part of your M365 and E3 or E5 licenses. So if you already have E3, E5, this much will be charged for each user per month later on. This is an add-on. And art of writing prompts. So whenever you encountered me writing prompts, my end goal was to get something from that prompt, right? After writing that prompt, I wanted some information back. So you have to identify what your end goal is. So what do you want to do with that Copilot? Do you want to generate some content? Do you want the Copilot to write some piece of information or query some information back, or post that information or delete? You have to be uh, clear and concise in terms of your end goal, which you want to achieve. So as you can see, what do you want from Copilot? I want this. I want to generate a list of 3 to 5 bullet points. Now, for what? Okay, I understand. I want to the Copilot should generate this much information. Give some more context on what information it should generate. So for an upcoming meeting with so and so clients, that information context you have to provide. Once you combine the goal with the context, only then you see your Copilot was answering me some information. Now, if you want to get that exact information, then you have to do some more work. Where you have to do that, you have to also add expectations and source. So now let's say I want to generate some information from a meeting, but if you have some source of that meeting or some chat or document, then pass that information as well. So your goal, which you are trying to achieve, will be more fruitful to you. Next is expectations. So now how do you want your Copilot to generate that information? So if you're generating a sales draft or a document for sales, then it should be highly, professional tone. Maybe because that whole discussion will span out or will be happening in terms of revenue. All that should be in a very professional tone and not in a very friendly manner, right? Because that there you are taking on some decision. The sales people are taking some decisions, so it should have one particular tone. Your document or presentation should be set in that tone. So also good to add that, hey, once you are generating this, also generate this in a friendly tone. If you're generating something for your friends or for some hosting a party or banner you are generating, anything it can be, right? So identify the tone is also important. Once you club all these four pieces of information like goal, context, expectation, and source, then you have the good prompt which your Copilot can understand, and it will give you the exact piece of information. Next, these are some of the prompts which you can directly use it as part of your Teams, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or Outlook. And where you can find this information, going to the Copilot lab. Oops, I think I'm the wrong window. Yeah. So all you have to do is hit copilot.cloud.microsoft and you will straight away land to the Copilot lab. If I go to the Copilot lab, you can see some videos on how you can get started with Copilot journey. So this is a simple where all Copilot you'll find it. How you can, what you can do with it. You can start using and meet your Copilot lab is this is what it is. Going ahead, powerful prompts. So if I go to the prompts to try section, here, it is similar to your adaptive card designer. If you would have used adaptive card or created adaptive card, you should know where you are going to post this adaptive card in your Teams, in your Outlook, in PowerPoint, or in your Power Platform. So that all piece of information you have to gauge. So where you're going to use this prompt, in which product, you just select that product. I'm going to use it in the Teams. So what I'll do is I'm going to filter it by Teams and category. So what you're trying to do, you're trying to follow up, catch up, or understand, or you're just trying to ask. So if I'm just trying to ask, this is the prompt which I can use it. If I want If I don't select any category, so these are the saved prompts which you can go ahead and use it. So let me just find action items. If I click on it, you can make that your own. How? You just have to paste this prompt into your prompt box. And what more you can do with it is you can just also ask what's the latest information from this person. Is he or she has he or she organized any meetings or any if you are looking for that chat where they have shared some information via Teams and they shared some files, you can just find that as well, and you can be prepared. So you can use that similar prompts in more different ways, or else you can just directly straight away use this into your Teams as well. So you can find this useful information from this prompt. Next, you can also generate some ideas just like what we did. So just a new idea for your topic, and this is where your topic will sit, and you can just take that information and you can use it as per your wish. You can tweak as well. If I want to use this in my Outlook, let me just go to my Outlook. What I can do with it is I can draft an email, reply to an email, and I can email the HOA, and also I can draft an email like invite parents, etc. These are some sample prompts. Now you can also create your own prompts, and if you feel that you have good prompts which can help drive better outcome, like maybe this will be useful for some people, for some vertical like HR or technology space or IT space. Just go ahead and draft all your prompts. Those maybe or your unique prompts, you can store it in the GitHub as your prompt library as well. You can have your own prompt library. Maybe you can then revisit that prompts, pick that up, and just start doing that information which you were doing it with the Copilot. So this is the prompt library where you can find prompts not just for Teams or Outlook, but also for all the verticals like Word, PowerPoint, etc. You can pick up any one of them and you are start good to go. You can also use prompt, which is Copilot, in your loops, like when you are drafting an agenda, assigning some task. You can do that, all of those here as well. Also in your OneNote, maybe to generate a to-do list or driving some agenda or plans, do anything. Going back to the Copilot Lab, what more it has to offer apart from some short videos which you can use it to enlighten or to just gauge some knowledge. I already mentioned about prompts, but you can also go ahead and take a look at how you can. This is the toolkit where you can find the information about more on goals, expectations, which we talked about. That whole information you'll find in the toolkit. How you can better get the better results from Copilot prompting. So there is a good documentation which you can read here. So this is more elaborative format where how you can generate or write prompts which will generate better results. Similarly, for creating your own prompts and share your best prompts, as I mentioned, if you have some good prompts, you are good to always share it. Open source, you can create it as an open source library. Rest, as I already have mentioned about how you can use it and where you can use it, but also there is one important factor where who are the users who are going to use it. Either it can be a normal end user, a home user, or a business leader, or an admin, and everyone can take use of this Copilot in each part, in each aspect of Microsoft 365 bubble, and how they can use it. All the adoption library resources are mentioned here, and how you can get started. Definitely, this get started videos will be helpful for you as well. So this sums up the overall discussion for today's topic, which was how you can transform the way you are working currently, and how you can use Copilot to make it more productive, how you can amplify your productivity, and also you can uh, add your creative layer to it and get the most out of it. So this was some parts and information which I wanted to share with you all, and maybe if you have any queries, you can go out and look out the resources as well. And definitely, I am your. You can reach out to me, and I will be happy to help. Yes,
Thanks,
thank you
Shrishti.
so much.
Yeah, that was a great session and a great insight. In fact, refreshing to understand how Copilot plays a very important role in your day to day life with the different applications that we use, whether it could be Excel, PowerPoint, or Teams scheduling meetings. So I think now the audience will get a gist of it, how it kind of enhances the productivity and use it more effectively with your AI assistant. Because I'm not going to use the word co-pilot, I would say it is your AI assistant that's going to help you. And definitely you're going to see a complete new era of working when compared to your work life before using your AI assistant. Thank you so much for the detailed session. I have a couple of questions. So, just wanted
Yes.
to understand how does Copilot support multi languages? Does it really support any variation, regional variations?
Yes. So Copilot, thank you so much for asking this. I missed out in my presentation today. So you can definitely leverage multilingual feature. So now what you can do is, maybe if your tenant is located in a so and so region, if you're using or familiar with Finnish or Spanish or any language, you can just ask Copilot in that language, and Copilot will respond back in your own language. It is not restricted to just only English, but you can also try multilingual features, and Copilot responds in that language as well. But for the supported list of languages, maybe I'll have to go back to the Microsoft documentation to check what all languages are supported as of now. But I have seen that it is supporting few of the languages apart from English as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just to add another point, yes, it does support a couple of languages. Do refer the Microsoft doc to find out more about it. But I think by now it's covering most of the languages which has been universally spoken. And coming to the next question is another hot topic is the Chat GPT. So, what's the main difference between Chat GPT and if someone asks about Microsoft Copilot? How would you put it in your simple terms?
So I would say, when Microsoft developed this Microsoft Copilot, it is using the OpenAI large language model, and so this is a integration with OpenAI and Microsoft. After which this Microsoft Copilot came into the picture, and it is using the large language model like GPT-35, GPT-4. So all these OpenAI stuff is now part of your Azure OpenAI as well. But when you use it as part of Microsoft, the Microsoft security and compliance also plays into the role. Like, it is intact across your services which you're using. But to answer a simple question, like which Kamal Shri asked on ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is definitely using. I'm not sure the ChatGPT is of OpenAI or not. But if ChatGPT is OpenAI, then maybe we are using the same model. But maybe you can correct me, Kamal Shri. As far as I know, we are using the Azure OpenAI, and OpenAI is integrated with Microsoft.
Yeah, so yeah, Shrishti, you kind of covered it. So, what I would add another point is like ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot both are AI technologies. They both are under it. It was developed to intend to help to accomplish a task, whether it could be activities to get a faster rate and more efficiently. Now, there is slight difference between both of them. It's say when you compare ChatGPT, it is more on the natural language processing technology. It uses the machine learning, deep learning, and its generation of your answer questions and respond to your conversations like the chatbot. But now, when you come to the co-pilot, it's more of AI-powered digital assistant. It's more of your personalized assistant, where it assists the user in a wide range of tasks and activities. So Copilot does not just connect you to the Chat GPT with Microsoft 365, it combines the power of LLM, which is the large language models, with your data in the Microsoft graphs, whether it could be calendar, emails, chats, documents, meetings, and M365 apps also, it turns your words into most powerful productivity tool on the planet. So that's the main difference between both are assisting tools. But if you come to the main difference, yes, Copilot does a little more far better when compared to ChatGPT. But connecting with your large LLM and your data in the graph side.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I would also like to add one more point. So when we use Copilot as part of Microsoft 365 Copilot, here you can query your organization's data. So
Very true.
uh, yeah, it is not like if I ask something related to some jargon of my organization, it would leak outside. It won't, because it is going to be sitting in your organization only, and you will never find this information in ChatGPT. If you go to ChatGPT and use the jargons which you're using for your projects, so it is not a good ethic, I would say. Definitely not a best practice, because somewhere or the other you are using your project information and you are asking ChatGPT that, hey, this is the information and now it is on internet. So that is the leak of data when you're using ChatGPT. But in Copilot, you can query organization's data anywhere in any of the copilots which we are using.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I had these two questions. So, yeah, thank you so much, Shrishti. It was an amazing session. So, we will leave the social handles of Shrishti in case you want to connect with her, check with her. If you have more questions related to Copilot, she would be glad to assist and connect with you. And we have left a couple of links in the comment section, which is the poll section. So please fill in the poll if you would like to be part of the ongoing boot camp or any updates related to Copilot. Please fill in the details and we will get back to you. And we will also publish the next meetup link, which is happening next week, where we would be covering about the AI library. Again, it's going to be another interesting topic where you can focus more on the business logic and allow teams to handle the complexity of the conversational bots. So you will see exactly how your apps can use LLM to facilitate more natural language interactions with the user and guiding that conversation into your app skill. So stay tuned for the AI library overview. And yeah, I think we have covered most of it. So going forward, we would be having this as a weekly series. And also, we would have these videos available on a Reactor YouTube channel. So Path will be posting the link to the Reactor YouTube channel where you can have a look into the previous recordings and as well as the ongoing recordings going forward. And yeah, that's it from my side. So, Path, do you have anything to add on it?
Nope, Kamal, I'm good.
All right. Thank you so much, Path, for being a great host. And Shrushti, thank you once again. And thank you, everyone. See you in the next.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kamal Shi. Thank you, Parth.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.